Okay, since we have a lot going on, we are going to talk about some like conjugations in Spanish. And I just want to point out like the two very important verbs to know in Spanish, ser and estar. So we're just going to start out easy, and then we're just going to work our way through. So first, I'm going to try conjugating ser and estar. But we're only conjugating present tense today, so let me share my screen. Hold on just a sec. Well, I guess I have to share my screen, then I'll just use the whiteboard. It don't matter to me. I already knew that was true of Zoom. You couldn't. Okay, so I would like to use text because, you know what? Can I draw like a table at least? Let's try it thick so you guys can see this. So I don't like blue that much. Eraser, there we go. I would like to go red. Why is it not changing to red? That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I probably can't do that. Oh, because I'm not in draw mode. Here we go. Oh, we're red now. Cool. Okay. So I just want to go over a few Spanish conjugations here. And first and foremost, we're going to do the verb ser. Make that red so you guys can see. So the conjugations for the verb ser, you've got yo soy, and this is the indicative present tense. Yo soy, tú eres. Él, ella y usted es. And in the plural form, you have nosotros, nosotras somos. And count this out. This is the rare vosotros, vosotras form, but you use it only in Spain. And this is sois. And then the ellos, ellas, y ustedes form, son. See all these conjugations? So for the verb ser, you have yo soy, tú eres, él es, ella es, y usted es. Nosotros somos, nosotras somos, vosotros sois, vosotras sois, ellos son, ellas son, y ustedes son. This is just one of the basic verbs you could have, and I'm gonna clear this all. Shoot. do I clear all drawings? There we go. Okay. So let's make this a little bit harder. So, like I said, we're only conjugating in the indicative present tense today. So now for the verb estar. I've actually learned this in Duolingo as well for almost 2 units. So for the verb estar, you have yo estoy. And this is the singular first person. I should probably put my keyboard in Spanish because some of these conjugations are going to have accent marks in them. And then in to form, in the you form, first person, you have tú estás. And this is the informal you form. And in the él, ella, or the formal you form, first person is está, or you can call it usted form. And then in the plural, you have nosotros and nosotras estamos. No accent in the A here. Now in the vosotros, vosotras form, you have to be very careful. It is estáis, and the accent is in the I. And then in the ellos, ellas, y ustedes form, you have están. See, here's all your conjugations. Yo estoy, tú estás, él está, ella está, usted está, nosotros estamos, nosotras estamos, vosotros estáis, vosotras estáis, ellos están, ellas están, y ustedes están. Let's really jump into it. Let's really jump into this. We're going to start off with the verb comer. And I want to do this in a different color. I choose yellow. I only wanted to do ser and estar in red. So we're going to create our conjugation table here. Now we're going to go to the verb comer. I want this yellow. I want to do that in the same color. So for the Spanish verb comer, you have in yo form como. And in the to form, you have comes. In the él, ella, y usted form, you have come. In the nosotros, nosotras form, you have comemos. And just don't get me wrong, but we never ever use the vosotros form unless you're in Spain, but I'm just going to give it out anyway. The vosotros, vosotras form is comes. And in the él, ella, y usted form, you have comen. So here's all your conjugated verbs for the Spanish verb comer. Yo como, tú comes, él come, ella come, usted come. Nosotros comemos, nosotras comemos. Vosotros coméis, vosotras coméis. Ellos comen, ellas comen, y ustedes comen. So let's try the verb beber. Let's try this in a different color. Green is a good color. So I want to draw. Let's make this green too. That way we can do it in the same color. Make our little conjugation table. And now this is the verb, the Spanish verb beber. So beber in the yo form is bebo. In the to form, it's bes. In the él, ella, y usted form, it's bebé. And in the plural, first person, in the nosotros, nosotras form, bebemos. The vosotros, vosotras form originally used in Spain is bebés. In the él, ella, y usted form, it is beben. Oh, lo siento, lo siento. I gotta redo that one. Lo siento. Lo siento, vecinos. Ay, caramba. Okay, so here's your conjugated verbs for beber. Yo bebo, tú bebes, él bebe, ella bebe, usted bebe. Nosotros bebemos, nosotras bebemos. Vosotros bebéis, vosotras bebéis. Ellos beben, ellas beben, y ustedes beben. But it does get a little trickier. Like when you think of the verb like hacer and tener and vivir. I want to do vivir first. I actually want to do vivir. And we're going to keep using the green. We're going to try the verb vivir now, meaning to live. We're going to do the verb vivir. Now you kind of got to be careful in this one because there could be accent marks in this. So I'm gonna start with the yo form. So yo vivo. Lo siento, lo siento. Tú vives. Él, ella, y usted vive. Ooh. This is where you have to be really careful in the nosotros form. This is an IR root verb. So you got to be very careful here. Nosotras, nosotros, nosotras vivimos. Nosotros, nosotras vivimos. That's one of those minor things you need to know about conjugating in the first person plural form. Vosotros, vosotras vivéis. See? Actually, no, it's just vivis. Yeah, but vives would make more sense because vivis really doesn't sound like a Spanish word. And the ellos, ellas, y ustedes form is pretty straightforward. It's just vain. And these are conjugations in the indicative present tense form. So for the Spanish verb vivir, you have yo vivo, tú vives, él vive, ella vive, usted vive, nosotros vivimos, nosotras vivimos, vosotros vivís, vosotras vivís, ellos viven, ellas viven, y ustedes viven. Now it's going to get a little tiny bit trickier here. I'm going to go with purple is a cool color. Purple is a really cool color. Morado. Morado. Try our little conjugation table right here. You know what, just for the heck of it, we are going to try the verb tener. We're going to try the verb tener. Ooh, tener. Now, tener has an irregularity in the yo form. There are some Spanish verbs that have irregularities in the yo form. You got to be very careful here. Yo tengo. I mean, you can't just say yo tengo because that would actually lose Spanish sound to the word. I mean, tengo takes away from the Spanish. It just subtracts out the Spanish, and you can't do that. Now you got to be very careful with this one. Tú tienes. See that? And él, ella y usted tiene. Now the nosotros and nosotras form, or the plural form of the first person, is pretty similar to the yo form, but it's tenemos. See that? See how tener already has an irregularity in the yo form? I'll go over more of those, like the verbs hacer and the verbs conocer and saber, right? Vosotros, vosotras, tenéis. But this is only used in Spain. Ellos, ellas y ustedes is similar to the two el, ella y usted form. Tienen. See that? Honestly, I know the verb tener very well. I even know it in the preterite, the imperfect, and all the other tenses Spanish has. But our next meeting, we will go over the preterite. So don't get me wrong. The preterite is going to be a lot harder because it has even more complex stem changes. So in the indicative present tense of the Spanish verb tener, you got yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, ella tiene, usted tiene, nosotros tenemos, nosotras tenemos, vosotros tenéis, vosotras tenéis, ellos tienen, ellas tienen, y ustedes tienen. Now, is this really making sense why there is an irregularity in the yo form? Yes, because it just takes the sound out of the Spanish language if you leave the G out of tango, right? And you can't do that. I mean, that would break a rule in Spanish. Let's try an AR verb. We're going to try the verb bailar. So let's try orange or naranja. Just for the fun of it, we're going to do the verb bailar and see. So for the Spanish verb bailar, now this is actually a little easier than tener. You got yo bailo. Tú bailas. Need to do that. Él, ella y usted baila. Nosotros, nosotras bailamos. Vosotros, vosotras bailáis. Ellos, ellas y ustedes bailan. So for the Spanish verb bailar, your conjugations are yo bailo, tú bailas, usted baila, él baila, ella baila, usted baila. Nosotros bailamos, nosotras bailamos, vosotros bailáis, vosotras bailáis, ellos bailan, ellas bailan, y ustedes bailan. Now, for the verb cantar. Our little conjugation table right here. So for the verb cantar, you have yo canto, tú cantas, él, ella y usted canta. Nosotros, nosotras cantamos. ¿Sí? Vosotros, vosotras cantáis. Él, ella y usted cantan. So here's your conjugations for the Spanish verb cantar. Yo canto, tú cantas, él canta, ella canta, usted canta. Nosotros cantamos. Nosotras cantamos. Vosotros cantáis. Vosotras cantáis. Ellos cantan. Ellas cantan. Ustedes cantan. Now, is the indicative present tense conjugations making sense to you? I bet not quite yet. You know what? We're going to try the verb tomar. We're going to go blue. We're going to go blue. Okay, our little conjugation table. So for the verb tomar. So conjugating in the yo form, you have yo tomo. Conjugating in the to form, you have tomas. See? Conjugating in the él, ella, y usted form, you have toma. And in the plural, first person, conjugating there, you have tomamos, or the nosotros conjugation. Nosotros, nosotras. And for the rarity of the vosotros and vosotras, you have tomáis. And for the ellos, ellas, y ustedes, conjugating there, you have toman. So, for the Spanish verb tomar, you have yo tomo, tú tomas, él toma, ella toma, usted toma. Nosotros tomamos, nosotras tomamos, vosotros tomáis, vosotras tomáis, ellos toman, ellas toman, y ustedes toman. But it can get a little bit trickier here, but that just gives you some ideas of how to like conjugate in the present tense, in the indicative present tense. But wait until we get into the subjunctive present tense. It's going to get even harder there, because in the subjunctive you change the root of the verb. We'll cover that later. So I actually want to go into the verbs conocer and saber. We are going to go pink because of the difficulty on those. Boom. Let's try that again. Try to get it a little straighter. There we go. So let's get this thing started. We're doing the verb conocer. Know or to meet. Conjugating in the yo form, you have yo conozco. Tú conoces. Él, ella y usted conoce. And in the plural, nosotros, nosotras conocemos. I almost said comemos. Apologies there. Vosotros, vosotras, conocéis. Ellos, ellas y ustedes conocen. See that? It does kind of get a little trickier when when it has an irregularity in the yo form. Wait until we get into saber. So your conjugations for the Spanish verb conocer, you have yo conozco, tú conoces, él conoce, ella conoce, usted conoce. Nosotros conocemos, nosotras conocemos, vosotros conocéis, vosotras conocéis, ellos conocen, ellas conocen, y ustedes conocen. Now we're going to try the verb saber. We're going to try the verb saber. For the verb saber. Now this one is a lot more trickier because in conjugating this one in the yo form, yo sé. See that? Yo sé. Tú sabes. Él, ella y usted sabe. Nosotros, nosotras sabemos. And this is in the plural right here. Vosotros, vosotras sabéis. Ellos, ellas y ustedes saben. See? Okay. So your conjugations in the indicative present tense of the Spanish word saber, Spanish verb saber, sorry, is yo sé, tú sabes, él sabe, ella sabe, usted sabe. Nosotros sabemos, nosotras sabemos, vosotros sabéis, vosotras sabéis, ellos saben, ellas saben, y ustedes saben. Okay. I want to go over one last verb with you guys. And trust me, I want to go over one that actually has accent marks in it. I actually want to go over a couple stem changes with you guys. Just really, you know what? Let me do a different color, actually. Do red. Rojo. Not a thin line. So, what if I did the verb? What if I did the Spanish verb dormir? What if I did the Spanish verb dormir? Okay. Don't get me wrong, but this is a stem changing verb right here. I didn't learn this in Duolingo yet, but it's worth giving a try. So dormir, you have to be extra sharp on. Dormir, this is a stem change. In the yo form is yo duermo. See how it's a stem changing? Tu duermas. Él, ella, usted duerma. Actually, no. No, that's the subjunctive. Hold on just a second. That's actually the subjunctive. Whoops, my bad. This is actually duermes in the indicative. Duermes. Tu duermes. Because this is the indicative present tense I'm going over. Él, ella, usted duerme. Sorry, I was wrong on the tu and usted form conjugations. It's tu duermes, él duerme, ella duerme, usted duerme. Now, in the nosotros, nosotras form, you got to be very super careful here. There is no stem change here. It's just dormimos. See that? And in the vosotros form, I believe there's no stem change here. It's dormes. See that? I do believe it's dormes in the vosotros form, but I could be wrong. And the ellos, ellas, y ustedes form has the stem change tied in. It's duermen. See that? See, there's a difference between dormir and duermo. It is a stem changing verb. The stem changes occur in the yo form, the tu form, the el, ella, y usted form, and the ellos, ellas, y ustedes form. But notice where stem changes don't occur. The nosotros and the vosotros form. So your conjugations are yo duermo, tú duermes, él duerme, ella duerme, usted duerme. Nosotros dormimos, nosotras dormimos, vosotros dorméis, vosotras dorméis, él duermen, no, ellos duermen, ellas duermen, y ustedes duermen. See that? That one's kind of a tongue twister. And just one more verb. Let us try, how about, let's try volver. Let's try the verb volver. Let's try the verb volver, just for the heck of it. So in the yo form, you have yo vuelvo. Tú vuelves. Él, ella y usted vuelve. Nosotros, nosotras volvimos. Volvimos. Notice no stem. Volvemos, actually, that's ER verb. Volvemos. Notice no stem change in the nosotros form. neither the vosotros form, because it's vosotros, vosotras, volvéis. And ellos, ellas y ustedes vuelven. Notice the stem change also occurs here too. See that? I will circle on here what are stem changes. Actually, I could just put them in a box, couldn't I? So see, notice the stem changes here, 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 and here. And then I'm going to mark in a different color where there's no stem changes. I'm just giving you guys a little heads up where the stem changes occur. So your conjugations in volver, yo vuelvo, tú vuelves, él vuelve, ella vuelve, y usted vuelve. Nosotros volvemos, nosotras volvemos, vosotros volvéis, vosotras volvéis, ellos vuelven, ellas vuelven, y ustedes vuelven. Well, let's see. Let us try one of the irregular verbs, maybe, like the verb ir. Let's try the verb ir. We're going to try the verb ir just for the heck of it. So for an irregular verb, for ir, that would be yo boy. Tu yeah. Trying to think. I think it's base because I kind of think it's base because you know what? It's an IR verb and it's very irregular. And I do believe the el, ella, y usted form is be. No, I'm completely wrong. Ir is kind of confusing. So I know the yo form is boy. So that's simple. Well, maybe it's boss. Yeah, it's boss. Because those wouldn't be Spanish words. Usted va. Nosotros vamos. Because vamos would not make sense. And you've got vosotros vais. And ellos, ellas, y ustedes van. See? It's not, this one was really not that easy. I mean, here was kind of confusing at first. So, for the irregular verb ir, you got yo voy, tú vas, él va, ella va, usted va, nosotros vamos, nosotras vamos, vosotros vais, vosotras vais, ellos van, ellas van, y ustedes van. I should probably conclude my night right there. But anyways, that gives you some of the conjugations and a couple of stem changes and just one irregular verb. By the way, sad, the first one I went over is an irregular verb. So I hope that covers it. We will stop it right here. And I hope to catch you guys next time. I'll be going over some preterite conjugations next time. So, adios, amigos.